When you think about a thriving city, there are a few characteristics that come to mind. A surging population, a vibrant center city, quality education, world-class healthcare, public-private partnerships, arts and entertainment, recreational opportunities, and a vision for the future. In Greenville, you can find them all. The City of Greenville, North Carolina is indeed thriving, and the past year provided plenty of proof. 2018 strengthened the city's reputation and helped the city again earn numerous accolades, including national notoriety as a top 10 small place for business and careers. The year began with City Council formulating a plan. Newly elected Mayor P.J. Conley was joined by 3 new faces on the City Council during the annual planning session in January as they laid out their goals and priorities for the next 2 years. Priorities established included economic development, street and sidewalk infrastructure, arts and entertainment, beautification, stormwater infrastructure, activating the town common, river access, and the enhancement of public safety. City employees got the year off to a positive start as they used the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday as an opportunity to give back with a day of service. The day included cleaning along a couple of the city's major thoroughfares and upgrades at a home in the West Greenville area. As spring arrived, city and state leaders broke ground on the Town Creek Culvert Stormwater Infrastructure Project, the largest in the history of the city.
This project's going to allow more additional growth to take place in the Uptown District, and we're going to see more things that are going to be exciting, that people are going to be excited to come and visit our community.
The culvert, which will run through the heart of Uptown and address localized flooding, was made possible by a $16 million interest-free loan from the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. Work will continue on the culvert through 2019 with an expected completion date of spring of 2020. And speaking of eco-friendly, an international spotlight was shined on River Park North in March as it opened its new Love a Sea Turtle STEAM Lab and took part in one of a couple of kickoff events for the Earth Echo Water Challenge, an initiative aimed at improving water quality worldwide. The warmer temperatures of April meant it was time for the city to participate in its annual Spring Cleanup Week before welcoming thousands of swashbucklers for Pirate Fest, the city's annual festival in the Uptown District. This year's event featured the usual family-friendly fun, highlighted by a concert headlined by the Plain White T's. Pirate Fest kicked off what was the most active year ever at the Greenville Town Common, with city leaders aiming to activate the park with more activities and events. The city's Central Park became a hotbed for concerts such as the popular Concert on the Common and Sunday in the Park series, and events such as the Community Youth Arts Festival, Exercise in the Park, the new Movie in the Park, and the annual Independence Day celebration. The city also partnered with the Greenville Noon Rotary to create the Field of Honor display in recognition of those who have served in the military and other local heroes. Additionally, the city continued with additions at the Town Common Park, including new restrooms, the renovation of the fishing pier, and the addition of a canoe and kayak launch. Future plans include the addition of the Sycamore Hill Gateway Plaza on the park's west end and potentially a private restaurant or retail business on the east side. And Town Common wasn't the only park to experience upgrades. Recreation and park staff also upgraded equipment at an additional 4 playgrounds at parks throughout the city and opened the new West Point Park on the city's west side. Baseball is a popular pastime in Greenville, and the ECU Pirates put together another successful season in 2018.
The treasure and the trophy belong to ECU. They are the champions of the American.
Culminating with the Pirates hosting an NCAA baseball regional in June. Prior to the regional, the city and university partnered for the first ever Batter Uptown event at 5 Points Plaza, where thousands of fans enjoyed live music along with food and beverages from local vendors before the big games. The regional and related events generated an estimated $1.8 million in total economic impact. In June, the City Council approved the city's operating budget for the next 2 years, a budget that focused heavily on economic development, infrastructure, and public safety. Among the highlights of the budget were nearly $1 million invested over the 2-year period into commercial and industrial site development, an additional $200,000 annually for job creation grants, an increase in the funding for the city's small business competition, and the designation of an additional $250,000 annually for street lights and cameras to enhance safety. The council also increased funding for street improvements in its budget, and city staff wasted little time putting those funds to use. As part of the 2018 street resurfacing contract, more than 27 lane miles of city streets were resurfaced in the past year. The Public Works Department also made several pedestrian and traffic safety improvements in the city by restriping crosswalks, installing rapid flashing beacons at crosswalks, and placing delineators in some areas to prevent unsafe movements. In keeping with the council's commitment to cleanliness and beautification, city staff also revived the city's Adopt a Street program in 2018. A new brand and increased marketing led to nearly 50 groups adopting city streets and helping to keep Greenville beautiful. Things didn't slow down in the final months of 2018. In August, the long-awaited GK Butterfield Transportation Center opened its doors, providing a centrally located transfer facility where all local and regional transportation services can connect. A couple of new student housing facilities also opened in the Uptown District, with the Gather Uptown Complex and the Dickinson Lofts contributing to an increase of nearly 1,000 new residents in the Center City. Those Uptown residents were treated to one of the largest Free Boot Fridays in the event's history this year, as the city and Uptown Greenville kicked off an ECU football weekend with a free concert by Parmalee that drew thousands to 5 Points Plaza. Uptown also experienced the opening of its first ever outdoor chess park, and annual favorites such as the Umbrella Market and First Friday Art Walk were as successful as ever. But 2018 also brought some challenges for the city of Greenville and eastern North Carolina. In September, Hurricane Florence devastated many communities across the east. Greenville was spared from most of the catastrophic effects of the storm, but that didn't stop city officials from lending a hand to neighboring communities. Greenville residents also came together to offer support. Donations poured into local organizations, and the generosity peaked with a November benefit concert by the Avett Brothers at ECU's Minges Coliseum that raised more than $300,000 for victims of the hurricane. Yes, 2018 was an eventful and exciting year for the city of Greenville, a year that once again included popular annual events such as the Police Department's National Night Out, Fire Rescue's Chili Cook-Off, and MWBE Medweek. Greenville also grooved again during the popular Greenville Grooves Music Festival, and the city experienced its lowest unemployment rate in 20 years at just more than 3%. Additionally, new initiatives such as the Gameplay event held at the South Greenville Recreation Center and the K9 for a Day figure to continue in 2019. Greenville is on the trajectory to continue to thrive in 2019 and continue to be a beacon for eastern North Carolina, a place where people are happy to live, to work, and to visit. A place where you can always find yourself in good company.